Long ago, in a prosperous kingdom, often battered by fierce storms from the sea, there stood a great lantern on the tallest watchtower. That lantern was not only a guide for ships sailing in the night, but also a symbol of faith, safety, and strength for the entire capital. The king would often remind his ministers and soldiers, "As long as the lantern burns, the hearts of our people will remain steadfast." Everyone understood that if the flame went out, fear would spread like wildfire, and the city would sink into despair. Among the soldiers in the kingdom was a young guard named Leon. Leon was not the most skilled, nor the bravest warrior. He had no grand victories or shining reputation. He was simply an ordinary soldier who quietly did his duty, but inside him lived a heart of quiet determination. One night, the sky turned dark and the wind began to howl. A violent storm rolled in from the sea, striking the capital with merciless force. Rain poured down in sheets, and the wind shrieked through the rooftops. Citizens bolted their doors and prayed for safety. High above, on the watchtower, the great lantern shook wildly. With each gust of wind, the flame wavered, threatening to die out. The people below looked up in fear. Soldiers and officials gathered, but none dared climb the tower in the middle of the storm. It was as if climbing up there was to embrace death itself. While everyone hesitated, Leon stepped forward. He waited for no command, no reward. He thought only one thing: if the lantern goes out, darkness will swallow us all. If no one else will act, then I must. Leon braved the storm. Rain soaked his body, and the icy wind nearly pushed him off balance. The stone steps of the tower were slick, every foothold a risk of falling. But he clenched his jaw and climbed, one step at a time, holding fast against the storm. When he finally reached the top, the flame was nearly gone, just a trembling glow, fighting for survival. Leon threw his cloak around it, shielding every fragile spark from the wind and rain. All through the night he crouched there, arms spread wide, using his own body as a barrier. The storm roared, but Leon's resolve burned brighter than the tempest. Down below, the city lay in restless sleep, unaware that on the highest tower, one lone soldier was holding back the darkness with his bare hands. At dawn, the storm finally passed. The sky cleared, and the people stepped out of their homes, hearts pounding with fear of what they might see. When they looked up, they gasped. The lantern was still burning, shining, strong and steady, as if untouched by the storm. Cries of relief and joy echoed across the city. Some wept, some knelt in gratitude. News of the miracle spread quickly, and soon it reached the ears of the king. The king summoned his court, and they discovered that the one who had kept the flame alive was none other than Leon, the quiet soldier. The king descended from his throne, took Leon's hands, and said, "Leon, you have shown a courage greater than any command could demand. You acted not because you were ordered, but because you knew what must be done. Your bravery in silence has kept alive the faith of an entire kingdom. To me, you are not just a soldier, you are the keeper of the flame." The king did not reward Leon with gold or jewels. Instead, he granted him a position of honor, the guardian of the sacred lantern, the protector of the light that symbolized hope for all. From that day forward, Leon's story spread across the land. The people whispered to one another, "Courage is not the absence of fear, but the choice to step forward when everyone else steps back." Leon had not only preserved the lantern's light, but had also ignited something greater: the belief that hardships are not meant to defeat us, but to reveal those who dare to face them. My friends, remember this. Life will always bring storms when you least expect them. There will be times when fear makes others retreat. But if you have the courage to step forward, you will discover a reward far greater than you imagined. Not always wealth, but growth, respect, and a strength that will never leave you. Do not wait for challenges to be announced. Do not wait for permission to prove yourself. Sometimes the greatest opportunities come disguised as danger, uncertainty, or fear. If this story inspires you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to help spread this message of courage to more people around the world. Your small action today may be the very spark that fuels us to continue bringing meaningful stories to life. Etch this truth in your heart. Challenges are not barriers, but the lanterns that test your courage.